Yo, welcome to another episode of From the Heart for the Heart. Thank you guys for joining us. We're here to have tough conversations or any conversations, all from the heart for the heart, each from their own person. Welcome your hosts. You know me, Mike. We got Frankie, we got Woody, and we got Jaron. Welcome back, fellas. What's been going on?
A lot.
Same thing as always.
Not much. So read between
Not
months.
much.
I mean, we've been having weather down here in Texas, but yeah.
For those who didn't know, Frankie is from Texas. Everybody, just in case you didn't know that.
Texas.
Just give him Sandy. We're gonna change his name on screen to Sandy Cheeks.
And then we got Illinois. What's up?
Oh man, I love it.
How'd you know what my wife calls me?
What?
Wow.
I didn't even hear. What'd you say? Hold on. Say it again.
I'm not. You missed it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was once in a lifetime.
Oh man, Miss Michelle, please just reach out to the page. You can repeat it. It's okay. It's okay. It won't leave the circle since it was missed. No man,
people
there's
did-
been a lot.
That's it.
Go ahead, Jaron.
I was going to say some people in Italy might see it, but that's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's something that's been going on. I guess we're international now. So for our listeners in the United States and in Italy, good morning, good night, good evening. Yeah,
Buongiorno.
You
Miss
asked
Goose?
what's been going on. I don't even. That's French.
No, Buongiorno
No,
is
it's
actually
not. Yeah, what are you
Yes,
talking
it
about?
is.
You sure?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I thought it
Buongiorno
was
is-
ciao.
No, that's Italian too. I'm sorry to tell you.
That's
So okay, all right.
I don't know.
Hey, Italy, let us know, please. Yes. Since you guys listen, no, we appreciate all the
The black guy with the dreads is wrong.
that tunes in. Yeah, that's fine. I'm everyone's favorite. It
that was a
doesn't-
terrible Italian accent.
It was more Russian.
Wow.
Yes.
Since we're all not friends with them anymore. Thanks, bro.
I know, right? We just offended them all.
Just got my shit hacked, bro. No, man, a lot's been going on. You know, if you guys have been paying attention to the podcast page, we've been doing some local stuff, issues going on in the community. We're not going to rehash it, especially not tonight, not on this episode. So we've been focused on the home front. It's been some, movement. There's been some momentum, over the last couple of days, which has been great as Jaron walks away. No, but that's fine. But yeah, no, so there's been a lot going on, but now we're back for our normally scheduled episode, and we have a good conversation. It's not a tough conversation necessarily this week. We went a different route, but we're excited to bring it to you tonight. But of course, we're coming full circle with the final debate, and that will be a Royal Rumble. So I can't wait for that tonight, guys. So, Frankie, Jaron, you guys wanna add anything?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and
Your
address
2
that
cents.
right now.
Okay.
The dog was staring at me, and she was like, I'm going to scream if you don't open this door. So I thought I would just say out real quick.
For you guys that are listening, you guys can also watch us on Facebook as well too. So for you guys on Apple Podcast and Spotify and Google, anywhere you guys listen to us, you can also watch the exact episode right now on Facebook. So you would have seen Jaron take off to go protect his dog. We got to do commentary for both now, Mike. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And I'm gonna put this on YouTube too. I gotta start putting this on YouTube.
And we're on YouTube too, so you guys can watch all of our episodes on YouTube, including the old ones when we sucked and didn't know what was going on. We still don't know what's going on. We just come, sit down, just say, hey, let's do this, and we kind of figure it out. But you guys listen or watch, and we really appreciate it. All right, and we're back from the heart for the heart. We have Brandon with Mike, Frankie, Jaron, more co-hosts, more stuff. And we're going to jump into our topic tonight, topic of discussion, not really a debate for that reason, more of a conversation. Tonight we're going to talk about inspirational people who throughout our life has motivated us in our professions, in our family lives, with our friends. who've, just to be better men, or whatever roles that we're in at the time. So we're gonna talk about the people that inspire us, and instead of just rambling on like we probably could, we're gonna make it fun because that's what we do. So we're gonna do it in different categories. We have a couple different categories tonight. I'm not gonna necessarily release them until we jump into one. But the first category we're gonna pick from for people who've inspired us is we're gonna go from. I'll kind of put two in one for you guys for the first one. I'll do two in one. Let's do either a historical figure or celebrity. So which one, you guys go with, but who's inspired you? So who wants to go first? Or I'll pick one.
You should probably just pick one, just to make time go. Come on, transition.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, you go first.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
Well, since we combined them, I originally had two for this category, but since we combine them, and I think this will be a historical person, I'm going to pick a celebrity who's going to be historical, and that's LeBron James. Just his whole backstory of where he came from, the route that he could have took, and even when he made it to the NBA, he wasn't like a trouble kid. He wasn't a trouble superstar. He wasn't the one who was a bad role model to the kids. No big scandal in his career or anything like that. Played out all of his contracts and all that. So he's done all the right things, and he's also brought his friends along for the ride. He brought along a lot of his friends to help him build a the clutch agency, and he built I Promise School. He's just giving back to his hometown or home state, Ohio, and his social justice stance and being one of the front people on that front is just phenomenal. So besides basketball, because basketball is just a sport, he's just been a voice for the basketball world, for the Black community about very important issues. So more than an athlete.
But he's not
That's a good one.
from.
That I Promise School. It's for me, whenever I remember hearing about it, the first thing I thought was, wow, I need to do more. I think I was talking to you guys about that before. Like there was not, I can't think of any other athlete. I can't think of too many celebrities, too many famous figures who did something that made me want to do more. Almost right away, reading some of the things that came with that school, with the full rights scholarship for everyone that graduates, the job placement for parents, the transportation to get to school for all the kids, just so many things. So that's Mike. That's a good one. That's a great pick. You're in the lead right now. Frankie, let's go ahead and have you go next. So historical figure or celebrity? You're on.
The person I chose for this, it's going to be a little bit more historical, but at one time he was a celebrity status, and it's going to be Mr. Walt Disney himself. And the reason why, if you look upon his history, before he became as big as he was, he had so many failures. He tried to start up so many animation companies and failed and failed and failed, and he continued and continued until he was able to do it right. Not only that, though, but any Disney fan will tell you, whenever he went all into a project, he went all in. Like his own brother, his investors were concerned, no, this is going to bankrupt the company. And yet he was still managed to find a way to succeed into it once he became bigger. I chose him because when I look at my failures, I kind of want to be able to say, yes, I continually tried doing it until I was able to succeed. I may not have succeeded the first time, but I was able to try and get it to where I can be, especially with my own personal career.
Wasn't he a racist?
I was
just
going to
kidding.
make
I'm just
two
kidding.
points.
Oh,
I was going to make 2 points, and one was I saw Mike's face when you said Walt Disney, and I knew what he was thinking.
Yeah.
And I was going to say,
know.
what like we need like a heart equivalent to get your mind out of the gutter, as far as like don't be mad, almost like
Yeah.
like let him. In my other,
my inspiration from him doesn't come from his personal views or his political goals at the end of the day. My inspiration comes from how he failed and learned his lessons after he moved on. And I see you laughing. I'm wondering what you're laughing about.
we just
You
always
know,
talk shit, dude.
you
That's
know,
all.
I know.
I also, look up to Hitler and his I look past what he did.
Hey,
You know?
say what you will, but believe it or not, Hitler was one of those that actually made car more affordable. Not a lot of people know that.
I was
So my second,
Hold up.
so my
Thank you.
second point.
Let Jared say his point
Yeah, go ahead,
first.
Jared.
No, I was gonna say in Frankie's defense before he went off on that one. It's one of those where you've got to separate, the good from the bad in some of these. We have to be honest. Most of our historical figures, no matter what society you come from, were terrible people. We've slowly learned that and come to terms with that. And Walt Disney, no matter what you think about him personally, generations of people. I mean, there's adults who were more excited to take their kids to the rendition of The Lion and things like that, to show them Fantasia, use it as a bonding experience with their kids. You can pick it apart. You can pick anybody's probably apart, but it is a good pick, and it's still relevant today. He was very, very influential. We just like to give you crap.
Yeah,
I know. I got it. I understand.
Especially since Jaron just went off on that tangent, then drank that beer.
Mhm.
And that leads into my second point. And I think, Mike, the only reason he picked Walt Disney was to just go ahead and pub his other show, the Hyperion Review, which is, how do you guys explain it? I don't even want to butcher it. How do you guys view it? Go ahead.
It is a weekly podcast of Disney entertainment seen through an unclean Main Street window.
And that's the best way to describe that show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what you did. Me and Mike and I have been on the show a couple of times, and that's every conversation we have. So yeah, good. Yeah, nice pub. No, Jared. Yeah, we'll go to you next, and then we'll come back. We'll say the best for last. That's me. So
When you first told me this topic, I was like, "Oh, easy peasy." Like, I'll think of that in 2 seconds. And the more I thought about it, the harder it honestly was. As far as at the point that I am in my life, who has actually influenced me continuously. And I honestly had a hard time digging up anything until I was really far into it. And I think I'm going to name a cliche for a not cliche reason. I'm going to go with Jesus. And I know before you laugh, I'm not even that religious, but I was raised German Lutheran. So I went through 3 years of catechism, church 2-3 times a week. I remember more about the Bible than I practice, but even to this day, like if I pass a homeless person on the street, that will eat at me until I roll back out of Kroger and I stop and I bring them a little sandwich and a water bottle. Or if I, for a change, actually have any cash in my wallet, that guilt will eat at me until I stop or go back to that corner and throw something in their hat while they're playing music. I mean, there's everyone, especially at this point, with the breakdowns of the community, whether you want to blame it on social media or what, it is so easy to get so caught up in yourself that you even kind of neglect the people that you care about without doing it. And I keep using the word guilt, and it's maybe not even the right word, but just kind of how I was raised, even though I don't go to church on Sundays anymore, anything like that, that still just kind of resonates with me to build up that karma, not just leave your day a little better than it probably started for anybody else, even if you had a bad day. And hopefully the next time, even if it ended on a bad note for you, that it'll pick up on a better one. So that's kind of where I reached with that one. I got a little deeper than I planned on, but that was about the only thing I could think of that continuously to this day I can honestly say dictates, my actions in my day-to-day lives.
Mm-hmm.
So we got an athlete covered. We got a media Mongol. We got the Christian faith covered. So we got all of our bases. What are you bringing to the table, Woody? I want to know what you're bringing to the table. We got everything. you got to bring something different. If you bring up the same thing that I did, they're gonna know. Everybody's gonna know and judge you. You should have went first.
I'm not switching off my.
He's trying to call you out.
He is. So, and the reason he's doing it without telling the story, we tried to record this and it didn't work. So that's the only reason he knows who mine is. But I'm gonna stay with him because he's such a great guy. Mine's gonna be my historical / celebrities, Muhammad Ali. And the same reasons, you know, as we've already talked about. Some of you guys know I'm a huge Colin Kaepernick fan, supporter. I enjoyed to watch him play when he was a solid, you know, quarterback, and supported him obviously through his cause and his protests and things like that. And when you think about how it ended his career, and for what he did, kneeling during the national anthem, and how it was perceived, almost like it was a crime. Almost like what he was doing, not standing at attention during the national anthem, was against the law, was the way some people treated him. Whereas Muhammad Ali literally went to prison and broke the law, dodged the draft in protest of something he didn't believe was right either. And honestly, and obviously, and I won't say honestly, but it was about the Vietnam War. He wasn't going to go fight in a war he didn't believe in because of the unjust things that were going on back home during this time as well too. He didn't stand for it. You know, he wasn't going to go with it. And I thought that was, when I first heard that story coming up, when I was hearing the Muhammad Ali story and saw the Will Smith movie, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really noble. If you think of our you know, some of our civil rights, you know, leaders, if you think about some of our civil rights activists of today who are out there, even LeBron James, he hasn't been in a position where he's had to sacrifice like that. And I'm not taking anything away from what he's done, but it obviously was a different ball game and it was a different time. But I give that to Muhammad Ali, and then as well too, him being on the athlete side, how great he was in the ring, how he could tell you what he was going to do and then go do it. He could predict when he was going to knock an opponent out and go knock him out. He invented the rope-a-dope scheme where he lulled him to sleep and then knocked opponents out, you know, and later in the fights too. So I always thought that was admirable. I always thought that was somebody. I loved his quotes. I loved the way he lived his life. I loved and his zest for life. So that was always something that just rang true for me. So I know even though he's an athlete, he was a lot more of a radical than LeBron James was. You know, even with changing his name and joining the Nation of Islam, I really think sets him off in another scope from my boy LeBron James. So no, I know what you were trying to do, and it didn't work.
And being from Louisville, I will attest, him and his family do a ton for the community here. They're very, very well renowned, very highly thought of. And even though he's gone, his family still continues to do stuff with the community. So he brought back as well, not just succeeded.
And his daughter also did what LeBron James' son may end up doing as well too, and that's continuing on, you know, with it on the career path that their fathers did, which would be cool.
And like you said, outside of giving your life, I mean, sacrificing your freedom for any I mean, this is a short life, no matter how you look at it. For any specified amount of time, to knowingly give up your freedom to make a statement that you think is worth that sacrifice, is not a lot of many people have that balls.
Even something else too, and I won't speculate because I don't know the prison conditions, but he wasn't in prison long.
No.
You know, it wasn't a long sentence, but he lost his title, he lost his, you know, his prize money, he lost his status as that athlete that he had obtained too, as well, that he had to go back and get back. You know, the love and the love and the admiration from the fans and things like that. So he lost a lot.
And he knew that. There wasn't
right.
consequences. He
I mean,
full responsibility for it because he believed in him.
He wasn't the first celebrity to get drafted either. I mean, everybody knows that. Like, Elvis Presley got drafted.
Yeah,
You know,
Jackie Robinson
but
fought.
due to his celebrity status, you know, and some could say he used that to his advantage, and he was able to get a nice, comfortable military job over in Germany instead of going to Vietnam. But I mean, I see the reason why a lot of people want to put him in jail is because other celebrities were getting drafted, and he was like doing it in defiance, you know, because he didn't believe in the Vietnam War. I mean, that's a whole discussion in itself, is if the Vietnam War was correct or not. But but to me, when you stand up for something that you believe in so much that you are willing to sacrifice all that you built, I mean, even if I agree or disagree with it, that to me is one of the greatest sacrifices you can make as a human being. You know?
It's a crazy right to protest, and obviously we can keep going on it, but let's keep it rolling. Before we kind of get into some conversation, not really debate, but just thought, and that's still what it's about. So let's keep it moving. This one's going to be fun. The second topic we're going to do tonight is we're going to pick an inspirational character from fiction, movies, television, books, what have you, comic books. Fictional character that's somebody that all of us as nerds in some way or another we latched onto as well. That's helped us along somewhere in life. So let's go in opposite order. So
That means
we
you
will start
first.
with you. No, I'm still going last because
That's not opposite order. That's not. I don't know if you use that correctly. That's not opposite order at all.
Wait a second.
I'm still going last as the host. Thank you, Jaren. You can go ahead and go first. That's 5 points from you, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily have a great one for this one. Once again, it turned out to be a lot tougher than I thought. As far as I obviously don't have, we've covered, I don't hold celebrities necessarily in high regard. So even going into fictional characters and stuff, I have this weird rationale where I know they're fictional, so I don't really hold a lot of salt to what I get out of it.
Just
But
piss people off. You could have used Jesus again if you wanted to.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna wait a few more episodes to start burning.
I'm sorry,
Just
guys.
coming for me, why don't you?
That wasn't even at you, Frankie.
So I just kind of thought about what is most important to me in my life, and really, when it comes down to it, I'd say family and friends is probably the number one for me. So as far as growing up, that taught me like camaraderie was like the number one, and getting where you want by yourself might be obtainable, but maybe less enjoyable than doing it with others. I'm gonna go with the Lord of the Rings. I'm going with the entire Fellowship. Those cats they put down their lives for each other. They went into precarious positions, thought some of them were dead, came back, no hard feelings, and at the end, Frodo tried to get Sam to leave him so many times to just cast Eve on the fire, and he wouldn't have been able to do it by himself. He would have fucked everybody over. And in the end, the friends, they tell you those uncomfortable truths that you don't like to look in the eye a lot of times. And there was a lot of that throughout the trilogy, and The Hobbit too, for an extent. But that was my take. A stretch, but my take.
Mike, have you seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies?
What do you mean? Yes, I've seen Lord of the Rings.
Seriously?
What do you mean? Yeah.
What? I don't believe you.
Why would I have not watched for Lord of the Rings?
I don't believe you.
I watched Game of Thrones. I've watched Harry Potter. All the major. I've not watched
Harry Potter.
What? What is going on right now?
I just never thought you were a Harry Potter guy.
What is going on right now?
He's about to come out and get his robe.
We could do a whole Harry Potter theme, guys, but I just didn't know. That shocked me.
Harry Potter Christmas tree. I put a sorting hat at the top instead of a star.
I was actually gonna make a Harry Potter joke when you said 5 points for me. I was gonna say.
Wow.
I was waiting for it, but Jared just jumped in it so quickly. I was like, God damn it, I missed my chance.
Oh man,
it's that hog's meat. I'm sorry. We'll talk in a minute.
The butterbeer.
We went from Lord of the Rings to Harry Potter now.
Quit, boy. We'll keep going. Where else?
mean, I've been throwing it up all night.
Uh, no,
All right,
but going on
Frankie.
That's a
Jaren's
great
pick.
one. That's a great one.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good because I mean, when you think of great friendships, to me, Samwise and Frodo's friendship, I mean, that they stood the ultimate test of friendship in that storyline. You know, so to me, you can't come up with a greater friend than Samwise to Frodo.
Yeah, it was just short of Brokeback. It was beautiful.
And just before you ask Woody, I also watched The Hobbit. So
I
just want to throw that out there
thought you were
too.
going to talk about Brokeback. That's
Which one?
I've never seen that. Ever.
It's won Oscars, man. It's
I don't care if it won. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm
haven't seen
okay.
it either. Do you think?
So did La La Land, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
fair.
That's a different movie altogether. We're not.
Is it though?
What, as far as like, I don't know. I haven't seen Brokeback. I haven't seen La La. I don't.
They both sound pretty gay.
Whoa.
Man, I was worried.
I didn't say it.
Completely,
Jared, you might as well do the white power symbol that you've been talking about all night.
Okay.
I'm talking about Jesus. This just derailed. So we're just gonna keep it moving, I guess. Frankie, who's your fictional inspiration?
So my
I feel like
fictional character that's actually inspired me. I got introduced to him in a comic book called The Death of Superman, and during that storyline, Superman does die. Doomsday kills him, and it shocks the entire world. Came out in the mid '90s. Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And one of the heroes that rised after it was John Henry Irons. Now, if you don't know, he was just a regular guy, but after he saw Superman die, he felt the call to step up and become the next Superman. And he was actually the main character for the comic title Man of Steel after the death of Superman. So, truthfully, you could say he's the only black guy that held on to the title of Superman and kept it for a while. But he was just an ordinary citizen with no superpowers whatsoever. And after Superman dies, he felt the need to step up and become the new savior of Earth by creating almost like an Iron Man thing, but he had like a suit of armor, and his nickname was Superman Steel for a long time, and now it's just Steel. But yeah, to me that inspired me because he saw a need and he was willing to put himself into that need.
I like that pick.
Why? Because he's black. We got. We have a black Captain America now too. Just in case you want to like him too. So typical.
But no, well,
Trevor.
I don't know. I guess it depends because there's only certain characters that you could pull off having a black version of it. You could do a black James Bond.
Yeah.
Can
That'd
you?
be cool. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Who? What's the dude that they had tapped? He was perfect.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, dude. He's got that silver fox thing going on. He's slick as hell. Yeah, I think you definitely can get away with it. Not even get away.
That'd be cool.
I think
You have a. Go ahead, Jaron. Say it again.
Oh no, I don't even think you'd have to get away with it. I think it would thrive. I think it would be a real class film. I don't think it's like some of the other ones where you're replacing like the comics where they've got pictures of them, they're drawn. James Bond's just kind of that real suave, slick ladies man who gets the job done and saves the world. I don't think there's as many stipulations for him as maybe some of the others
on a book.
Place. Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like you got a crush on Idris Elba. I just want you to know
Well,
that.
James Bond in general is just
James Bond's the man.
yeah. But Idris is
Jason
You
Bourne's
haven't
better.
seen the James Bonds? I know you've seen all the James Bond movies.
I don't know about all of them because there's like over 20 movies. I mean, Jesus.
at least, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So I don't think I've seen all 20 plus movies.
Well, the question is, who's your James Bond?
You're asking.
Anybody?
It's
mine
definitely
is
a final debate topic. Maybe.
Yeah, 'cause
That is actually a good one.
about this one.
We'll keep that. Yeah, we'll keep that. We'll
We're gonna-
shelf that. All right, and now we're gonna have Woody go ahead and give us his take on his person.
My fictional character.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a couple
Mhm.
in mind. Who, I mean, I like to read. I love to watch movies. I love to watch TV shows and find themes and things like that. So I definitely have a lot of people that have inspired me, whether it's something big, something little, some little quote they've said. But one of my favorite characters, someone that's always stuck with me for whatever reason, who was a strong character, was Othello, from the main character of the Shakespeare play, tragedy, Othello. And for you guys who don't know, he was the first modern main African character, or I should say the first African character in modern literature. And if you're familiar with the story, he wasn't, he was, man, one of the stronger male characters in the Shakespeare tragedy world. You know, Romeo, you know, he was a little bitch. Macbeth,
Easily.
you know, he needed to grow a pair, man up, quit listening to his woman,
Yeah.
and do whatever it is he needed to do. And Hamlet, I mean, he lost his father. That's a little bit different, but you got to man up too. You know, same situation.
You
But
mean Lion
Othello-
King?
Huh?
You mean Lion King?
I mean, yeah, Lion King. There's Sons of Anarchy. You can keep
I'm
going
just,
with.
I'm just saying him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, that's another episode, but no. Anyway, but Othello wasn't like that. You know, he was I believe he was a general. It's been a while since I've read it. He was a soldier of some sorts. Was promoted. Fell in love. You know, had his woman, and he found out she was cheating. He killed her out of rage. You know, out of the betrayal. Found out that he was tricked, and the only thing he could do he felt like to avenge it was to take his own life, which obviously in Shakespeare is the most noble thing you can do, is kill yourself. And so, and he goes out, and, blazing glory. So, but I was captivated by it. I won't go into detail about where I first went into the story just yet, but Othello's always hung with me. And as I said to you guys before, and now that I'm going to have all girls, Othello is what I was going to name my son. You know, that's how much I was inspired by that name, and it always resonated with me. So that's my pick for fictional character. And I bet you no one knew I was going to do Shakespeare. Like, all right.
Yeah, just like no one thought that I would like Harry Potter for some reason. Or
Yeah, dude. No, just you, man. Just you. We've never talked Harry Potter. Wait, you read the books too?
most like I didn't read the Deathly Hollows, or I think I only got up to the Order of the Phoenix.
Okay. That's the best book.
You know how much I like Lord of the Rings? Yep. There she is. Got the 5 piece canvas set on the
For
wall.
you guys that are again listening, Jaren showing off his Lord of the Rings collection in his man cave, bedroom, I don't know, basement of mom's. We don't know where he's at.
Yeah.
That's where he shoots his OnlyFans. I guess we're pubbing everybody's shit tonight.
I
Watch
call
Yeah.
First Round Buy on Wednesdays. There. All right, Mike.
All right, so now it's my turn. I just want to point out that I got Brandon to go before me. Jedi mind trick. So I just want you guys to realize that.
And he brought in Star Wars.
It was very nice of me to do that. But my
Come
pick
up will be on Wednesday.
Okay. My pick is a very well-known anime character called Naruto. Show's named after him. I'm not a big anime person because I know there's bigger people who read the books, who read the comics, who have all this stuff on anime. So I'm not that deep into it, but I love the show Naruto, and I love the story that it tells of him. Won't give too much away just in case anybody wants to watch it, but it's just a story of a kid who was outcast. He's an orphan. His parents died saving him. He has the power to destroy the world inside of him, pretty much, and he's just pretty much cast out by his village or his home. um, left to pretty much grow up by himself. Um, and most people who are ostracized like that, they can turn into very dark people and whatnot, and go down a dark road. People hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt them. But he just keeps fighting for the love of his people and for wanting to be recognized as one of them. Um, and he doesn't let that deter him from the walk of life that he chooses. He doesn't let anything change what he believes. So I just love the character. I love it so much. I have a ring is Naruto based. I plan on getting, if I ever man up and get tattoos, I plan on getting a Naruto tattoo. I just love everything about it. I can watch it over and over again because the story is just so good. So that's who really influences me in the fictional world.
Hmm.
That's another good one, Mike. I like the almost a turn the other cheek, um, kind of mentality that you take from. I never realized that. I'm not a huge anime fan. Really, only Dragon Ball Z was really what I watched. A couple of little other ones, but I am familiar with Naruto. So, but I never, don't watch it enough, get that deep enough into it, to be able to pull something like that, though. So no, that's definitely an interesting take on it. Another great person. All right, guys. Moving on. We have one more inspirational person, and then we're gonna jump into our final debate. So this one is, I think, this one will be the easiest, probably the hardest at the same time too. Easiest to talk about, hardest to pick. This
Hmm.
is going to be an inspiration from our personal lives. So this is parents, friends, teachers, coaches, professors, whatever, mentors, whatever. Just different people that have helped us in our lives get us to, like I said, where we are today, and they had a hands-on experience. So I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say about this one. Just to switch it up this time, Frankie, we will have you go first, and you can tell us
All
who
right.
inspired you to be Frankie from Texas.
So, well, originally from Georgia. Um, so my personal pick, I had to choose somebody that has been the most influential in my life, and that is the founder and creator of Chick-fil-A. And yes, he is a personal pick of mine because I got to know him more as a personal level. One of the things that he did after he created Chick-fil-A and became rich was he created a foster program in which he housed children, but in these housing, it wasn't for temporary; it was for permanent homes. So the foster parents that I grew up with, I called mom and dad, and even Truett himself, I called grandpa. He called us his grandchildren by choice. So instead of having that extra profit and make himself more rich, he was willing to give it away. And all throughout his life, you see him giving away money instead of keeping extra profit. For example, he gave away so many scholarships to a very well known college in Georgia, so kids could be able to go to college at a cheaper rate. Um, because of him, I've learned that if I'm more blessed than others, it's not just for me to have, but also to help the less fortunate. Um, so that he's been a very big influence onto me whenever it came to my life.
And I was uh, thinking of the CEO of Chick-fil-A. So what was his name again?
Truett S. Cappy.
Truett S. Cappy.
Cappy.
Tappy with a T.
No,
Kathy.
Cappy.
Cat. Got you. Sorry, I don't know. I'm trying to watch his face and listen at
Yeah,
the same time.
yeah.
I'm
That's
sorry,
what
guys.
happened.
Trying to read his lips. No, okay. Wow, that's wow. Had no idea, man.
Yeah,
Um,
that took me so out of left field when you said that, and then made sense. That's a very
I,
interesting choice. Did not see
you
that coming.
know, just in the what? How long have I known you? Like what, 2, 3 months now? It seems.
Yeah,
Maybe since just the beginning of the year, and I can see that.
yeah.
Just I realized that not so much just some of your backstory, but what you
Hmm.
gained from him. and that's a cool story. That really is.
Oh yeah.
And also, my mom, she spent years working in Illinois, um, DCFS field.
Hmm.
What didn't know personal stories about kids, of course, necessarily, because I couldn't, but I knew what she dealt with and what she brought home, and the weight and how hard she worked. So I kind of, man, it's, yeah, that's, yeah. Anybody else?
I
Anybody?
mean, yeah.
Did you say Illinois on purpose? Oh, that's sarcastic.
Like Illinois is possessive, like it's theirs. Illinois Department of like their children's
Oh,
services.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hell, bro, come on.
I was
No,
you
no,
a little worried.
no. You can go next with your personal
Oh, okay. I'm also
person then.
no. I went with this one was probably the easiest of the
You
three.
got a CEO too.
No, well, CEO of the family, grandpa.
Okay,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? Yeah, no, he's one of those old school cats that's it's all about being a gentleman. He's South Side Chicagoan. He worked, pulled himself by his bootstraps, blue collar, started his own business, and retired when he could, and just he's just without knowing him, it's really hard to explain. But even like the way you see him interact with my grandmother when nobody else is necessarily around, or when they're looking, the way he treats my mom when my dad's not around, or he's very I want to say affectionate because that's not necessarily it. He's very attentive. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. He seems to be very good at just knowing what people are going to want or what they are going to need and just being ahead of it. Like that's just, he's made it, I don't know if it's a retired thing, but he's made it his personal goal to be a step ahead of everyone else and make sure that they don't need anything when they visit. And, him and my grandmother are now 57 years of marriage, and
Wow.
they'd make you throw up. I mean, they're gross. They're so all over each other. Chris, a couple beers in, and my grandmother's got a Captain Morgan gimlet. I mean, you're like, well, how do you guys keep it going? But I mean, he's so kind to everyone, and it's he's one of those people that taught me that retribution, revenge doesn't really get you anywhere. It's much better to not turn the other cheek. Remember what they did to you and don't let them do it again. But put that energy back in yourself and make yourself better than that person that hurt you or hurt your family. But like I said, he's very attentive. He's very family oriented, and he's just one of those last few very genuine people out there in the world. So up until my life, I mean, I hate saying I look past my dad most of the time, but he taught my dad, so why not go straight to the source? Just all around
Thanks.
guy, and like I said, last of a dying breed is, I think, why I hold him as in high regard as I do.
That's a good one. You did answer that question. I was going to ask if it was your mom or your dad's dad. And I was going to ask you this too. What is he? Just because I've met, he seems like a lot of the people I've met since I moved up in Northern Illinois, who are from the South Side of Chicago, as far as just being taught the right way and teaching the right way. They're complete strangers to me, but they want to give me all the knowledge, all the tidbits on being a good person, a good man, for no other reason than it's what you're supposed to do. Good father, good brother, son, whatever, good boss, good employee. And so I kind of resonated since I moved up here, seeing that from certain people. But I was going to ask you, was he an immigrant? Was he from Chicago?
So both my actually all of my grandparents were not immigrants themselves, but all their parents were.
Okay.
So they were that like first generation of they heard firsthand how much better they had it, and where they could go.
Got
And
you.
so that was still just such just drilled in. But I mean, like, but it's a different mentality, because if you make eye contact for a second, you're going to have a conversation, and like you said, he's going to probably tell you more than you need to know, but not necessarily in a Karen way or an annoying way. oh, bud, let me show you how to do this, or because he owned his own electrical car. Like he started off just working, regular jobs, and he ended up starting a electrical business in Southside Chicago. If you guys, do you guys remember? Are you big with mafia history at all?
Eh,
There's a big
not Chicago, not so much Chicago mafia.
there was a big mob family called the Morales family,
Okay.
that ran a lot of Chicago, especially the Italian ring. Um, and they called him Little Oli. They hired him. He did all their escape tunnels and all the lighting, electricity for there. And we actually got invited to his birthday party. So do you remember the scene from Starsky and Hutch where they think they're busting him at the kid's birthday party and they shoot,
Yes.
they kill the horse and everything? But it turned out the FBI agents were the clowns and stuff. That actually happened. We went to his granddaughter's birthday, and 3 days later, it was all over the news. And my grandmother was hitting my grandfather, saying that he's going to send us all to jail for being uh, involved with all them. But I mean, nothing ever came of it. He didn't know any better. He was just taking honest money, honest money. But yeah, no, but he got into that because of family business before then, and being from the South Side, they ran with such a different group of people. There's just Berwyn Cicero's heavy Latino. Then you've got
Right.
Actual Chicago Heights area, which is heavy African American. Then you've got
Right.
the Poles. Then you've got the Germans. It's very
Cicero.
but very together still. You interact with all those people, so there's no animosity for anybody from this man's bones. He's just, if you smile at him, he'll go to the moon and back. And like I said, that's obviously I've gone over the top on it, so I think highly of him. But yeah, it's that South Side thing. You're right, because if you go to the North Side, pretentious, stuck up, don't want to look in your direction, give you the finger if you wave at them on the street.
Yep.
I mean, it's a
Yep.
very night and day
It's two
dynamic.
different. It's two different. Definitely two different places. It's crazy the world we live in, but we're definitely not getting on that tonight.
Yeah.
Mike, do you want to go next, or you want me to go ahead and
Go ahead. You're already
let you go
talking.
last again? Okay. So my personal inspirational person, we got someone that saved and changed a life. We have a family member. Mine's gonna be someone that helped me through my education, but also helped me personally as well too. And that was my sophomore English teacher, Mrs. Neal, who was the only African American teacher that I had throughout my entire education process, kindergarten all the way up, even some of the classes I took in college. And she, one of the things about her is that you knew right away that she wasn't playing games. Or she lets you know. And Jaron had her, so he knows as well too. It wasn't going to be the same cutting up as you were going to cut up in some of these other classes. And what was funny was, like, from day one is, like, I almost knew what she meant. Like, of course, you know what a teacher means, but it was a different vibe. You could almost feel that connection with it. One of the other things too was with the Othello thing. She's the one that introduced that play. And sophomore year in our school, we read a Shakespeare play all 4 years of school. Shakespeare tragedy. Freshman year, everyone did Romeo and Juliet. Sophomore year, all the other English classes did Julius Caesar. And when we got ready to start our unit, she comes in and she goes, "We're not doing Julius Caesar. I don't like that play. We're doing Othello." As I already gave you the super crappy Cliff Notes version of that, which I think is a much better play between the two of them. And she explained why she wanted to do Othello, and just straight away. And if you're familiar with our area, which if you pay attention to some of the other things we've done, that's a different way to be. To just outwardly say that in the classroom. So I love that. But what really stood out about her was whenever I went into her classroom the end of the first semester, and during that was my sophomore year. So my parents had just split up. We had just moved to a new place, and where I lived most of my life, is just different. I wasn't an angry person, but things were just different, and I was trying to go through school. But I went to her class end of the first semester, and I had an 89.2, and maybe a little bit higher. I don't even remember. And I asked her, "Miss Neal, man, can you round this up for an A for me? I got 4 A's. Give me this one. Then I got 5 A's. It'll look better." And she looked at me, and she was like, "No." And I was like, "Why not?" I said, just help me out. It's not a big deal. And she says, "If you can get this 89 point whatever, you can get this 90 and actually get this A. So I want you to work harder this next semester and focus in. And I was like, you're right. I understand. I apologize. And she looked, we were kind of quiet, just sitting there. She looked at me and she says, Brandon, don't ever be afraid to be a smart black person, black young man, is what I think it was she said. And I kind of understood where she was going with it, but it wasn't until it was a little bit later that I fully understood where she meant with it. And that was okay, being smart, not having to be silly, not having to clown around some of the ways that we talk about in the black culture all the time with a certain way to be. But she was the first person outside of my family that I felt understood me and as a person in authority in that way. And she kind of helped empower me. She kind of helped change my outlook on a lot of things in school and how to deal with it. And that message has resonated with me to this day. And I still tell her how thankful I am to this day about her telling me that. So definitely Mrs. Neal, my sophomore year English teacher. So,
she was intense, but she was awesome.
Yeah, she was. We had this.
Sounds like a good teacher.
Yeah, no, she was one of the teachers that, I mean, I feel like you walk into a lot of classrooms and it's a job for them and they expect you to sit down, shut up, and listen.
Yep.
And she actually kind of brought energy into the class and,
Yep.
she wanted to make a difference. Right? I don't know. You could tell she wanted to at least make you excited to be there, whether you originally thought you were going to be or not. And there was not a lot of teachers in my entire life, all the way through college, let alone, in Marion High School that had that energy. So I did appreciate that out of her.
She had this big international dictionary that was like this thick that in our class we'd pull out every day and open it up and find a word of the day. And that was one of the things she allowed and encouraged. Just allowing us to, learn the way we wanted to. We always had a new word that we walked away with. So that was fun, and I still communicate with her, from time to time. She was real close with my AAU basketball coach, Coach Griffin, who was another real close personal inspiration for me. He came around at the exact same time. He was my first black coach who wasn't my father that I had as well, too. And they were both from the same town and knew each other. So that was, she's definitely, very inspirational for me. So, Mike, I won't keep the spotlight, man. We'll roll it over to you so you can bring us home.
I was born in Topeka, but I grew up in Texas for a lot of my youth, almost about the end of sixth grade. So in Texas, as Frankie would know, and probably everybody else, football is big. It is the sport, and I grew up playing football from probably pre-K or something a little before first grade, and playing football. So it was a sport that I knew and I loved. And I moved here. So my role model or somebody who influenced me is Coach Martin, Coach Kerry Martin from my high school years, because he made me feel, I wasn't the most athletic. I didn't hit my growth spurt till after football season of the senior year. So I was about 5'4", 5'5", something like that, all throughout high school. And I wasn't the quickest or the biggest, but he made me feel like I was a part of the team, especially playing on varsity. I didn't get a lot of playing time, but he still went out his way to, I don't even know if it was out of his way. He just made me feel a part of the team, that I was a part of the success. He knew my name from like 8th grade on and made it a point to make me feel validated and when I was out there. And even as I pursue coaching as my own path, he's been there to offer help in whatever aspect I may need it for, plays, dealing with kids or whatever. So I didn't know how impactful coaches were until I became an adult, and until I started coaching myself. I still have kids calling me coach who are well in college, or they're adults now, and they're still calling me coach. And I'm like, you don't have to call me that no more. But it's just something that sticks with you. I still Coach Martin. I mean, I don't know if I see him at the grocery store. I don't care if I see him at church. Wherever I go, if I see him, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, Coach Martin?" I'm not gonna call him Kerry or whatever. I'm not gonna call him by the first. I'm like, "Coach, what's up, Coach?" So that's mine.
And I'll add with him another one of the very few teachers in that high school that brought energy to the classroom and really
Yes.
cared.
He's a legend. That's a legend.
I didn't even play football. I call him coach. So that's
And
how it's
you know what? Even one with that, I tried to play senior year before I had to focus in on grades. But playing with him, though, I got that same, just in that short time, coming in like that, being welcomed into the family. But I was going to say, Mike, we didn't play, but Jaron and I were on the sideline. We were on the end zone every Friday night with the student section.
And you know what? He even appreciated us for
That's
doing
what I
that.
was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to do. He made us feel like we were a part of the success. I was going to, and I didn't want to cut you off, Mike, but when you talked about how football was huge in Texas and then you moved to Marion, you should have put the ad on that football wasn't big in Marion then. Whenever you moved. And that's another testament to what Coach did. Our freshman year was the first year we went to the playoffs and haven't, not gone since.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we're missing is getting that state title, which is coming soon. But no, he's
Hopefully.
a legend. He's a legend, dude. Yeah, that's a great one. If there's a coaching,
Well, I
Rushmore,
mean,
go ahead.
I like how you and Mike both chose like a teacher or somebody from the school district, because to me, I mean, look, I'm looking back at when I went to high school, and I mean, so a lot of my teachers I don't really remember much of them, but the ones I do are the ones that taught me more about life than they did about the subject they were teaching. And I mean, for me, the teachers, if they're able to do that, they're going beyond their actual job. We send our kids to school to learn about school stuff, but at the same time, these teachers have more influence in students' lives than basically anybody else. Because I mean, think about it. They're with those adults longer than they are with their own parents, if you think about it. So when teachers are able to inspire their students like that, they're going far beyond their job description.
All right. Welcome back, guys. And now it's time for the actual debate, where we have our real debate towards the end of the episode about a plethora of issues. Some funnies, is stuff that is important to us. Today is going to be the best breakfast food.
The actual debate has never been something that's like.
This is very important.
But it's important. It's important.
This is an issue, and this is very important.
Boy bands,
Very
because
important.
we're still
important.
talking about the boy bands, I guess. So.
Okay.
I'd prefer to stop.
Breakfast is literally the best meal of the day that you eat any time of the day. So this is very important, very important. And since Jaron wasn't here for our last time, I'm interested to hear his take first, because I've already heard the other two, and I'm just ready for that to get down to that. So Jaron, what is the best breakfast food?
So I think I've misunderstood this, especially now you guys were talking about bacon alone. I came up with like my favorite go-to breakfast like cuisine. Do I need a specific?
Okay,
like,
no, it could be a cuisine. It can't be. No. Stop.
Don't explain the rules. Just let him pick his food.
Okay, go ahead, Jaron. Yeah, go ahead,
what you were
Jaron.
gonna pick.
Whatever you're gonna pick, go ahead.
Eggs, hash browns, chorizo. My favorite. I make it three times a week.
So that's your meal?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Is there like a name for that meal? Is there like a phrase or a?
I mean, I'm sure if you get it at like a restaurant, it's probably close to like a huevos rancheros. Because I'll throw some like spinach or something, something like that in. But
so that's your breakfast food?
Yep. Go to
huevos
every time.
rancheros. Okay. Your meal. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Not food, meal. Got you. All right.
But if I have to, like, are you just breaking it down to just bacon, just sausage?
We're breaking it down. No, I'll explain. We're breaking it down to where Jaron yet again failed us with this part with this segment.
Don't do
it. he went out of the
He's
realm.
got good.
And I'll do it again.
I will say he's got a good choice because I mean down here in Texas we have that for our breakfast tacos. And Jaron, for the listeners who doesn't know what chorizo is, can you explain it?
Oh, it's I think specifically I think it's a Mexican sausage. Might be a greater Spanish cuisine that maybe started beforehand, but I know I was introduced to it when I went to Cancun for the first time when I was 14, and I've never gone back. I don't like if I go to Cracker Barrel, I'll get some sausage patties, but there's nothing else like chorizo, eggs, and hash browns.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's basically it's a specialized cooked pork for breakfast, really, and it's a Mexican dish.
It's a decent pick.
Zesty sausage. We'll put it that way.
It's a decent pick. It's
definitely
a decent pick.
What they go ahead. Never mind.
No, you're right, but we want to go with you because we want to hear yours. I mean, Jaron was pretty much talking, so go ahead and
if you guys follow or have followed the show, you know Mike's problem is like he gets just tied up into his words, and then he'll say the words, and that's what it is he's gonna say. And then he can't walk back on that shit because I'm going off his words. So when we came up with this on our phones in the group chat, he said
we didn't come up with it. That was me.
He said best breakfast food. Am I correct? Team?
Yes, I did.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Frankie's.
I agree.
I was going to say he's nodding his head for you guys that are listening. So by picking the best breakfast food, I went with the all-time heavy hitter of bacon. Period. Done. End of conversation. Bacon goes with everything. Bacon and eggs, pancakes and bacon, waffles and bacon. You can add bacon.
Won't go with Jaren's.
That you can add it with what? No, you still could. It wouldn't be the same, but you probably could. It'll still taste good. So I'm gonna say bacon and just end it there. And I probably just won the debate.
We'll rehash this. You did not, Frankie. Since me and you picked the same thing, we already know what we picked. I'm just gonna let you go ahead and take it, and then I'll hop on Brandon's ass.
All right, so yes, you're absolutely right, Woody. He straight up texted us and said, "Hey, best breakfast food," and the first thing that came to my mind: biscuits and gravy. You can't get better than that.
What? What's wrong with you?
What?
He's a northerner. What they say in Hocus Pocus.
He's never had good. All right. And Jaron, I'll explain it's got to be the white
meal
gravy, not turkey gravy, because I've seen some people do biscuits and gravy with the turkey gravy. No, it's white sausage gravy.
Biscuit and gravy is just it's hearty. It's just nice.
It's a meal.
It's
you can have it without bacon.
Breakfast food. It's a breakfast. Yeah, exactly. You don't eat biscuit and gravy with bacon. All right. So it is a food. It is a food. But it's not like
it's a couple food.
It's not. It's biscuit and gravy.
It's not. It's a meal, bro.
You know what? If you can go to the restaurant and that's what it says when it says biscuit and gravy, that's a food. Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
You can go to Cracker Barrel and still order as a side dish.
Yeah.
So it's not really just the meal itself. It's a side item if you want to go that route.
It's not a fucking side dish. You order it on the side of your bacon, eggs, and whatever it is you get. Like you order it because you want the sausage. I mean the biscuits and gravy, just like I do. It's not a side dish. Don't play with me. Don't do that because you're gonna make me say bad stuff.
Is there at least like chunks of sausage in the gravy? Or are we just talking about bread?
I'm assuming there's sausage.
It's sausage.
Which is
sausage gravy.
Is it another food on top of the other food? See, you guys are trying to cheat the system. We don't
on
do
top
that.
of the other food. Do you know what gravy's made out of?
I know what gravy's made out of. What I'm saying is you said breakfast food. Not what meal do I eat at? What's the best meal to eat at breakfast?
So So what we said is breakfast food. So you could have technically picked pancakes. Pancakes has
I could have.
a lot of ingredients
I
in
could
it.
have.
Okay.
But I didn't.
So would your argument still be the same? Because pancakes has more than one.
Just like that. No, because that's
There's
why
no pancake tree.
That's why I wouldn't have picked an omelet. I would have maybe picked an egg because of all its different uses.
All
I
right.
couldn't pick an omelet because now you're adding cheese, you're adding ham, you're
But
adding
to
bacon.
me, all right. So the thing about bacon is bacon's more of a topping. Like bacon's what I throw on my baked potato, which is not a breakfast item.
Whoa. So your
Bacon
first
is what I
example
throw on
isn't
my
breakfast
salad.
food. That's not okay. Your second example isn't breakfast food,
Exactly, which makes bacon ineligible.
which
All right,
makes
well, Fred,
bacon multidimensional. Guys, you're making my argument for me.
if we're using that logic, then I put
We're not
gravy
using
on
a
my turkey
logic,
at
Jared. We're
Thanksgiving.
using what Mike picked for the actual debate.
Stop talking over each other.
It-
Didn't hear Jaren.
Shut up. You're wrong.
No, I said using that logic, I put gravy on my turkey. So I mean, that's got multiple uses.
No, I
that's
straight up
okay.
said not turkey. That's turkey gravy. That's like brown gravy. No, we're describing as white gravy.
You
There
just
is
You know
a
what,
big
Jaren? Jaren, you know what? We have, like I said last week, you have very good points on our more sensitive conversations. But when we come to the actual debate, I mean, you just say stuff that makes no sense.
We gotta let him pick the next one. Is the only way he's gonna have a chance.
Because he's talking about he's talking about turkey gravy like it's in the same realm as biscuit and gravy. It's not. It's not even.
No.
But I see
So
where
so
you're
it sounds
going.
like I need to DoorDash like biscuits and gravy to Jaren so he can be able to experience this for the first time.
Probably.
Actual biscuit and gravy with meat in it, because apparently he's been eating
Yes.
biscuit and gravy with just white cream on top of it.
Or turkey.
I don't remember the last time I had biscuits and gravy. I didn't know if you guys were using bread and gravy. I'm like,
This dude sits at Thanksgiving. He's at Thanksgiving when he's got the gravy bowl in the biscuit. Hey guys, biscuits and gravy.
that's how I ended up at Thanksgiving. Now we're putting the gravy on the turkey. Thank you, Woody.
That's the Southside shit.
Oh.
God, you just. I'm glad we redid this because we needed that, Jaren. You're the comic relief. Comic relief with your takes on food.
This is great.
Oh man.
So yeah, just a recap. Me and Frankie, who don't agree most of the time because he is a Trump supporter and I am not, we both agreed on biscuit and gravy. Jaren's got chorizo, hash browns, and eggs as a combo, and Woody has bacon. Woody has the most generic answer there is: bacon. You know.
Wait. I'll give him it one little chance. Brandon, is it turkey bacon or real bacon?
Come on, dude. Don't even. Come
That's
on.
disrespectful.
Come on.
I'm just asking because there's some people that just they go for the turkey.
That's because I'm liberal. That's exactly why you asked me that
No, it's
question,
not.
and I took offense to it,
No.
and I'm done. And something else too. And I wonder if anybody else picked up on this, especially since I called out Miss Neal, and now she's gonna watch this episode. And you say me and Frankie.
Frankie and I.
And yeah.
You know what? Miss
You
Neal
had her
can see.
too.
Miss Neal can see me whenever she wants. That's my auntie.
He
She can see
wasn't
me.
going to her to ask to get the A bumped up. He was going not to fail.
Hey, I just floated by in that class in high school pretty much. I didn't really care about it, so I just floated my way through it. Yeah, so, I mean, she probably gave me the same talk as you did, but I was just too dumb, and I was just like, you know what, Miss Neal, I appreciate it, but I'm just here to just make it straight through class. I'm cool with the C right now.
Keep moms off the backside. I think we lost Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be back. Hey, technical difficulties. No, yeah, to recap, Frankie and Mike picked biscuits and gravy, which is a meal, not a breakfast food. Jaren picked I don't
Also a
even
meal.
remember what it was, also not a breakfast food. So the winner by default and the world heavyweight champion of the world is Woody with the breakfast food. You guys are going to comment on this one because, again, we're going off what Mike said. But this is From the Heart for the Heart, where we have tough conversations. I don't even care if Mike comes back into this one because I'm taking this. We have our tough conversations, but it's always from the heart. We want you to open yours and an ability to be able to take what it is that we're giving you. So, and that's not a nasty joke either. Don't go there with the OnlyFans thing, Jaron. No, so guys, check us out. Episode will be out, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere you can listen to podcasts. You can also check out Mike and myself on the First Round By, which we stream on Twitch and Facebook Wednesday nights at 8. And then real quick, pub, Frankie, why don't you go ahead and let us know where else we can see you at? Then we'll get out of here.
No, so I'm actually on a Disney podcast where, like I said earlier, we do a weekly review of all Disney entertainment, but seen through an unclean Main Street window, which means we take Disney movies, and we just tear it apart with the social themings. Brandon and Mike have both been on our show, so we just got done actually doing a episode for Rapunzel Tangled, so that should be coming out soon.
Real quick, we have one of the most downloaded episodes of all time still.
Yes.
You guys actually should go check it out. It was a really cool conversation about Song of the South. So that was from their first season before Frankie was there. But we've done a couple. It's a great show. Love to get Jaron on. I think Jaron would be great on there as well too. Just keep the whole
I'm a
family
big Disney
thing
guy,
going.
so.
Oh, dude, you'll love it. You'll love it. Definitely have to check them out, man. Yeah. So Mike's back, but we're leaving. So we'll see you guys soon. Stay tuned. Make sure to follow us, like us on Facebook, and just keep paying attention because we're gonna have more shit coming out soon. Night,
And
guys.
we promise the next debate is going to be hot. So if you're coming for the drama, come for that next
It'll be bad.
episode.
Yes.
It's going to be hot. I can't
will be
wait
bad.
to get Frankie's face as red as that hat. I just can't wait. So I hope you're ready for
Our
that,
next
guys.
debate may ruin friendships.
Friendships. I'm just doing this to get famous.
Biscuits and gravy.
All right, guys. See you next time, and thanks for tuning in.
All right.